one of the guys' name's Carlson, because I worked for him. Carlson is his name. How do you pronounce his name? I worked for him by putting a roof on a lady's house over at Raintown, just because my uncle was a minister over at Hillsboro, and he asked me if
he worked with Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, so he asked me if I'd go over because they had some kids there and they really didn't know exactly what all they were doing. So I went over there and they didn't know what they was doing. They had good intentions. Don't get me wrong, they had good intentions, and their heart was filled with it, but they really didn't know much about construction. And so I ended up putting a roof on the house. And so I mean, I've always tried to contribute to the area that I live in. Right. I mean, I think you should go pay back to your area.
So you're not
but
just
I don't
a
want to
hermit
be
living on,
abused.
right, you're just not a hermit living on a mountaintop. Well, even though you literally are living on the outside, and you do probably act like a hermit.
Well,
you still,
I don't know exactly what a hermit is.
Right.
But with the price of gas and being on a definitely low, very low fixed income, I can't afford the gas to go run around like I used to.
Yeah.
You know, before it got that expensive.
You can't afford to haul your garbage 40 miles.
And the price of propane and stuff like that, I just can't do it. But then getting back to that trash thing, is that I'm supposed to be able to have a free day that I can't use because, I mean, I'm not dumping trash over the hill, I'm picking it up.
Really?
And I can't use their services because they put a restriction on it that I got to be 12 months out. I'm not here 12 months, and I got a legitimate reason for not being here for 12 months. And so if I can't do it, why even go the first thing? Now, being a Virginia, by owning property in Virginia, actually, that entitles me to participate in Bath County's garbage disposal.
Yes.
And I dispose my trash there at the green boxes in Bath County.
Okay.
To Pull Mountain. That's a whole lot closer than going all the way. What's that town up there where the garbage thing's at? That area. It's not Marley. It's not Huntersville. It's way up the road there. And so it's closer. And I go there. And Virginia.
Well, all you have to have is proof that you properly dispose.
Yeah.
That's a misconception a lot of people have. If you prove that you properly dispose of it in Florida, that's okay.
That's okay.
And that's one of the reasons why those people who live up here really, they can make the case that when they're back to Gwinnett County.
I get water from Warm Springs, Virginia, because there's no water on the mountain. There's no electric on the mountain. So it's not a hunting camp for me. It's my residence. And it just seems like butt my head against that brick wall there. You know, it's.
Well, we're going to have a new assessor. Our current assessor is retiring, and then he's running for county commissioner. So,
was he going to pay the same type of property taxes that I'm?
That's going to be interesting to see, isn't it?
Because he sure hadn't did it in the past.
Really?
Well, look, his ticket says he didn't.
Yeah. So you've checked his records.
Yes. And he didn't. And when I confronted him at the Board of Equalization there, because Mr. Carlson wanted to know, he said, "Mr. Stratton, what do you think it's worth?" I said, "It will never be worth more than $15,000, and I'm not finished building yet." Because I had a little trailer up there that I stayed in while I built. And then when I was getting close to, framing it in, drying it in, it wasn't on the inside. I took the windows out of the trailer to put in my house, save money. And so, and then I used the bottom frame of the trailer for the surface of my deck, support for my deck, or that room that I call my daughter's room, Carrie's room. And lost my train of thought there, but anyway.
Well, you were telling me that you don't think Dolan's taxes
Well, I know it's not, because I confronted him there when Mr. Carlson's there, and he asked me what I wanted. I said, well, I want to pay the same rate that this man right beside me is. And he had a tape recorder there, taping it.
So there is a taped record.
Yeah, well, he gave me, I said, I want a copy of that.
You got a copy of that?
Yeah, but it's not according to the tape. There's some deletions in it. And
deletions?
Yeah. When I told Mr. Carlson, I said, I want to pay the same rate that he's paying. That's fair.
Yeah.
And I said, because he is not paying any taxes increases forever, seems like. I didn't go all the way back, but I went back quite a few years. And I said, I want to pay the same rate. And he said, well, I don't do my own taxes. And I told him that's a Nuremberg defense and don't work.
What was he trying to say with that?
That it wasn't his mistake, it was the people that worked for him's mistake.
Oh.
That they didn't.
But he wasn't there that day to get that mistake corrected, was he?
Well, he's been there how many years?
Yeah. So he doesn't intend to correct that.
I don't know if he corrected now. Well, he did.
But he knows about the error.
About a year later, I went back down there, and he told me that he paid his tax costs, property taxes was higher than what Rockefeller paid. And I was wondering, well, I didn't read about it. Of course, I might have been out of town at the time, but I don't know who made that assessment for him. How much did he come up with? I mean, was it an administrative decision, or was it a judicial decision? You know, and if you defrauded the county that employs you, I think that would have to be a judicial determination because you committed something by omission. So, I mean, I don't care if the urbans like me or not. I really don't care. I applied for a teaching position there, a substitute teaching position. I got a K through 12 certification to teach as substitute, and they told me that, or she told me that she wasn't going to hire me because I could quit and go to Florida. And I asked her, I said, well, could not any of your teachers quit and go to Florida anytime? And so, well, I didn't get employed. I think someone told me that they got a hold of somebody who was a custodian up there or something, substitute teacher. But then she told me they had a little store there at Huntersville, and I went in there to get something. And Dole was there, and I confronted him about my taxes because I think it's a very strong issue. I've never not paid my taxes. And I think that taxes, we need taxes to support those things that the community needs.
Right, you just want to be fair.
I just want to be fair.
You want everybody to pay the same amount.
Well,
the same
I want those that are exempt should be exempt for legitimate reasons. I have no qualms with that. But not just because who you are or who you know.
Right.
I don't think that qualifies you for anything other than, I guess, to run for office. And so anyway, I confronted him there, and I remember that she told me to go back to where I came from. And
the house doesn't like you.
So go back to where I came from, and I said, well, I am. My people's all been in West Virginia. And then a friend of mine and I were going to start up a business, and we wanted to run an ad in the paper here in Pocahontas County, and what's his name, McNeil, and he was complaining about it. He had been here for 3 generations or something like that, and whatever. And I told him, I said, well, because it's like being, you know, you're an outsider, you know, we don't want to do that, because we're going to start up a trash service for our own. We want to do it. We can haul trash to the dump over Greenbrier County just as good as anybody else.
And you actually have that right.
Yeah. So anyway, he's telling us that stuff, and I told him, I said, well, I'm not an outsider. My people at one time, the way the history goes, according to my genealogy, that I'm a Gwynn and a Stratton, and the Gwynn family, John Gwynn, was awarded this area by King Charles, I think it was. And so I got really long ties, longer than what he has in Marlington.
Yeah.
And then it was funny, I mean, because it's just an anecdote. It was funny that because my buddy, he claimed, I think, about 1/8 or something like that, Indian. And he said, no, Tom's not lying to you because his people stole it from my people. And I thought that was kind of cute. Anecdotally. And it's just been a constant battle with them. And I don't mind if they would say, well, I'm here, I wouldn't mind paying $1 a bag or whatever they come up with is fair. Whatever, if the business community got to pay so much a ton, figure out about how much, I think it's about 23 pounds of the black plastic bag will hold, and divided that in a ton, and then I'll pay that same amount, but I'm going to pay by the bag because that's on board.
Right.
Because I can't be here all the time.
You probably...
that seems fair to me.
Yeah, you probably are in a position where if you got your homestead exemption, you probably would pay the garbage fee, wouldn't it?
Well, it could be definitely restricted, but I'm not going to pay it for a full year because I'm not here a full year.
Right.
I cannot get my garbage to there. And I think every law that's made, you've got to have the ability to comply.
Yeah.
And I don't have the ability to comply the way they got it set up. You know, I don't like I said, I don't throw it over the mountains. I pick it up when I can. And